Talk a little bit about technology. I'm looking at this, right? And this looks like the Queen Elizabeth II, the console for guiding a ship. So technology obviously has changed over the years. Let's talk a little bit about what you've seen evolutionary-wise in terms of technology and what it's meant for your profession.
Well, behind me is a 2-inch 24-track tape recorder. And I think it's showing up in that camera back there.
Okay.
And that's what we recorded on, through the 70s and 80s, before while digital technology was sort of a gleam in somebody's eye as they were thinking about this. Well, nowadays everything is fully digital.
Digital, yeah.
Except this is a $250,000 analog console.
Analog.
This is analog.
Okay.
This is the old-fashioned way. It has knobs that you turn and adjust, not a screen where you have to look for the knobs and switches on a screen.
Right, right.
It's way more efficient than a digital console.
So your preference is
my preference is for analog 24/7.
And is that from a sound perspective?
It's still better.
Just better.
Analog is still better than digital. Digital has not caught up yet. The editing possibilities in digital is what makes everybody use it.
Okay.
Because it is the editing capabilities and the manipulation is amazing in the digital
world, right?
It's not available.
Okay, but in terms of sound quality,
analog.
That's very, very interesting.
It still has to come out a set of analog speakers. It's not like anybody's piping that MP3 into your brain through some kind of sound wave.
Right. That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. What's a day in the life like for a sound engineer? I know you've got some things going on with Rice today, but you and I spoke that perhaps you're looking at maybe another phase in your life in terms of kind of winding down a little bit, but you work quite a few hours a day, no?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Let me give you a couple of examples. Yesterday, I went over to Sound Arts Recording, which is off of Bingle and I-10, because they have working tape recorder, quarter-inch tape recorders to transfer tapes that recorded in the 80s into the digital domain. Then I came over here and spent 5 hours mixing a new modern country record for a really well-known artist by the name of Chris Gardner, who had a #1 alternative country hit last year, and we're working on the rest of his album. Wow. Today I came over to be interviewed. Then I will go to Rice University to do editing on that project I just talked about.
Sure, yeah.
And then tonight I'm going to record a concert for Chamber of Music Houston of the Emerson String Quartet, world famous at Rice.
Yeah.
I'll record that concert and then go home.
And you go home.
Tomorrow I will come in and spend 6 hours mixing on a new album for the New Heart Music Ministry, Chinese Christian outfit that are here, a very well-known outfit that are here in town. And then right after that, a rock band is coming in to record a bunch of drum tracks.
How do you keep up? So you go from classical to country to Latin to
Christian music.
Christian music. Yeah. You've got to that's got to make your head spin a little bit. No.
No, because I listen to all of those genres, bits and pieces of those genres. Mm-hmm. The one genre I don't work in is the modern hip hop genre.
Okay.
I don't listen to hip hop music, so I don't know what they're looking for.
Okay.
Nor do I understand
Let's go there a little bit, because I think that's very interesting when you say what you're looking for. So you're actually able to guide a little bit. Now, give some guidance to the musician. Like you said, there may be a newer group that comes in that's never had this kind of experience before, and then you can just really, because you're looking for something when you listen to the music. No?
Yeah, I mean, a band that comes in to record is always going to say we sort of like these sounds. Mm-hmm. These bands are bands that we listen to. Excuse me. And so I already know what they're looking for. So I start to push in that direction towards what they're wanting to sound like.
Do you know what they want to record before they get to the studio? They say, "Hey, Paul, this is what we're going to play with. This is what we're going to work on today."
They're going to send me demos.
Okay.
Of what they've done previously or in their bedroom or whatever, so I can have an idea of what's going on.
Yeah. We talked a little bit about today. There's always this, the digital trend towards producing music in your living room or your garage, and I think we talked about that. I think there's a lot of you coined I think what I thought was a very interesting way to phrase that. Although it's creative, it's just not professional. What are your thoughts on that?
There are a few guys that are capable of creating brilliant music in their bedroom and recording it.
Is it a question of equipment, Andy?
No, it's a question of talent.
Talent, okay.
The equipment is there.
Okay.
You know, can you use it?
Okay.
You know, I've spent, for instance, Pro Tools, which is the environment that digital environment that we record on here, and most professional studios are using that environment as well, has been around since 1992, 1994, somewhere around there, that digital platform. So
it's a piece of software?
It's software. It's
software
and hardware.
Okay.
And I've had it since 1994. So I sort of know how it works. You aren't just going to buy Pro Tools, take it home, and
make it work.
In 2 days become a genius at recording.
Yeah, and make it work.
It takes a little bit of practice. I mean, we have interns that come here to Wire Road that are learning how to use this stuff. And they're expanding their knowledge by coming here and watching me and other engineers work.
Sure, absolutely. How many engineers do you guys have in
well, basically, James Kelly, one of the owners, is the primary engineer here.
Okay.
And he's a wizard at the hip hop world.
Okay.
And that's the beautiful thing because if you look at the all the pictures that are on the wall here, you're going to see the cream of the crop of Houston and worldwide hip hop people come here.
That's right.
And it's because of James and a couple of engineers like him. Danny Reeves does all the commercial work here. Audio for video and radio, for TV, and dialogue replacement for all the movies.
Oh, wow.
They're equipped to do dialogue replacement here, and they do a ton of it.
Excuse me.
So Danny is the master of all that kind of work. And then there's probably me and maybe another dozen part-time freelance engineers that come here and use the studios.
Okay.
I mean, there have been times here where I've seen guys leaving as I'm walking in the door.
So each engineer has his kind of niche and his specialty.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. What do you do when you're not spending 12 hours a day?
Hanging out with my wife and my kids and my grandkids. I got 9 grandkids.
9 grandkids. So that keeps you a little busy as well.
Yes, it is. And that's one of the reasons I'm retiring from Rice University.
I wouldn't say you're retiring. You're just kind of being selective, right?
I'm going to be selective. Starting at the end of May because I can spend more time with my grandkids.
That's great. If someone were looking at as you walked into this, not kind of walked into it, but you understood that this is something that you wanted to pursue in your life, music, and then certainly the audio side. Someone that's looking at this as a career, what would you suggest? How best to approach this? You mentioned some interns coming in. Where do they study? What's the path?
You definitely need to go to school to learn this technology.
Okay.
Because it will. You got to start somewhere. And basically, here in Houston, you have Houston Community College.
Okay.
The campus that's over on I-10.
Okay.
You have the San Jacinto College Central, which is over there in Pasadena. You have the Art Institute, which is over there on 59 near 610.
Yeah.
And then you have Media Tech, which owns a recording studio here in town over off of Richmond. So you've got 4 complete schools that are teaching audio.
And is it a curriculum, a 4-year curriculum, or
it's anywhere from 1 year to 2 years.
Okay, and then basically a practice.
Then you can go, and if you're really good and can go, you can go to Texas State University in San Marcos.
Okay.
To do year 3 and 4, or you can go to places in Nashville to do year 3 and 4.
Okay.
Or you can head off to places like the Peabody Institute, University of Miami.
Sure.
Those kind of places.
And then is that a 4-year degree in communications?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see this field growing for those that want to? I mean, like we talked. There's audio. There's conferencing. There's TV. There's other avenues.
Oh, there's so many avenues for somebody studying audio. I mean, churches need audio engineers.
True.
Universities need audio engineers. I'm one of those. There's plenty of avenue for it. And of course, along the way, there's going to be a couple of geniuses that can crank out hits in their bedroom.
Right. Let's talk a little bit about some of the artists you work with. I mean, Willie Nelson and Renee Fleming and Isaac Perlman. That had to be pretty special. It's
totally special, and that came through Rice University.
Okay.
Cecilia Bartoli and Renee Fleming both came for a gala that were set up.
At what point were they in their careers? Were they?
Oh, they were mega hits
at that point.
At that point when they came in.
Okay.
They performed.
Were you nervous about that?
No. I've never been nervous about meeting up with people.
Okay.
And something you'll discover is the bigger they are in stature, the nicer they are.
That's great to know. Listen to that. That's good to know. Yeah.
And the classical world, the people I've met there have all been through Rice University, because Itzhak Perlman's daughter was going to Rice.
Oh, we didn't know that. Good. Yeah.
Renee Fleming's brother was going to Rice.
In the music program?
In the music program.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it was fun working with them, and they're those kind of people are so talented.
It's a gift, isn't it?
It's a musicality. They're so musical,
yeah.
And it's so easy.
It's in the DNA, no?
It looks easy, but they've been practicing nonstop their whole life.
Right.
Willie Nelson I met through one of my dearest friends, Johnny Bush.
At what point was Willie in his career? Was Willie just...
Oh, yeah.
Because he was with Sugar... He recorded at Sugar Hill, no?
He recorded at Sugar Hill in 1960 originally.
Yeah. What was the first... What did he record there?
He recorded the first version of Nightlife.
Wow.
In 1960. And there was another very famous person on that recording. His name is Herb Remington. Herb Remington is one of the godfathers of steel guitar players. He just passed away, and in his 90s.
Wow.
And Herb had played with Bob Wills.
Wow.
And recorded with Willie in 1960. And I did a lot of recording with Herb through the years. There's some wonderful senior citizens of the music business, shall we say, that are tied to me.
Yeah.
Johnny Bush, who's had some amazing career. Mickey Gilley, who's a good friend and has had an amazing career.
Is Mickey Gilley a local? Is he
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah, he's local. Yeah.
The Urban Cowboy,
Right.
the famous movie, was shot at Gilley's,
Wow. I didn't know that.
his club, back in the 70s.
Back in the 70s.
And, these guys are all in their 80s and they're still singing.
And they're still singing.
So there's hope for me yet. Not the singing part,
No, but I think
the age part.
you can still sit. I think you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay.